Malaysia reporting over 7,200 new COVID-19 cases today. This is up from yesterday's figure, which was the lowest since July the 5th, and comes as Malaysia hit a milestone yesterday when it lifted travel curbs for fully vaccinated people. They can now travel between states and out of the country without needing special permission. Malaysians whom the Straits Times spoke to are looking forward to visiting their relatives in other states after 9 months of travel curbs. With an update is the Straits Times' Malaysia Bureau Chief Shannon Teo joining me from KL. So Shannon, your observations to start. You wrote that families are looking forward to reunions, but has there already been more travel across state borders?
As far as the highway authorities have checked and they've looked at the highways, they've got CCTVs all over. Traffic hasn't actually increased a lot from, say, last week, right? There are people who are still traveling for what we call essential purposes, for business, for trade, lorries moving goods, so on and so forth. It hasn't really picked up yet as of yesterday. And I think that might be because people are waiting for the weekend. It also promises to be something of a long weekend. We have a public holiday next week, which is Prophet Muhammad's birthday. I believe it falls on the Tuesday. So, people might be looking at taking the Monday off and going off for a 4-day weekend. So the expectation is that there'll be more traffic this weekend. The Penang state government, for example, is saying is expecting 50,000 visitors this weekend alone.
With more allowed to travel within the country now, does it mark the start of proper recovery for businesses, especially those in the tourism sector?
A lot of people have looked at what happened in Langkawi. As you know, we had a travel bubble that opened on September 16. Now, Kedah state government has said that in the 3 weeks since that opening, the tourism sector there has collected something like 25 million ringgit. I know that doesn't sound like a lot on paper, but Langkawi technically is a very small island. Now, if you multiply that across the country, you're going to get quite a fair amount of money in a 1 month period. People are talking about in the hundreds of millions going back into the tourism sector, which, well, has been starved for most of the past 18 months.
Well, Shannon, our health minister said Singapore and Malaysia will want to start taking concrete actions to reopen borders as soon as possible. What's the Malaysian government saying about reopening the border with Singapore?
Well, I think the messaging from Malaysia is that we are heading towards endemicity, right? We are not in an endemic phase yet, but we are transitioning. So authorities are still very careful, right? They understand that businesses want to reopen, business travelers want to move in and out. And maybe there is a larger need for Singapore to open up international travel first, because it is the regional hub. People need to come in and out of other regional, financial hubs in other parts of the world. Malaysia doesn't have that much of a pressing need in terms of the economy. So it is looking at which countries might be suitable. It is obviously looking at Singapore as the first point to open. The Johor state government especially wants to reopen the border with Singapore. They are pushing hard. They would like it to have happened yesterday, because they are saying that they've vaccinated all the commuters, all the workers. They are ready, right? We don't have to allow everyone, but the guys who need to work, let's allow them to cross. So that's what Johor is saying. The federal government, on the other hand, is being a bit more careful. It doesn't want to be blamed for any kind of new spike. I think right now, with reopening interstate borders, it's kind of like a test bed for the federal government. And if everything goes smoothly, then Singapore next, maybe other countries. So it's taking things step by step, very slowly. It hasn't even opened up to foreign visitors coming in. Malaysians can leave, but we are not accepting foreign tourists yet as it stands. So it is a kind of a drip by drip level of reopening. But the government is saying we are not endemic yet. So that's the stance that they're taking.